Preparation. Focus. Performance. Achievement. Sometimes it's not just about crossing the finishing line, but the preparation needed to get there. If there's one thing that Newey and Eyre has learned, it's that their customers demand an exceptional level of service. And if there's one thing that the North East, Cumbria and Yorkshire region has realised, is that maybe they haven't quite lived up to your expectations in the past. Well, now it's hands-up time for the region. Yes, they know they haven't been performing to the highest possible standards. And yes, they know that there is considerable room for improvement. And you can take their word for it. That improvement is happening now. They've been listening to everything you had to say about the region, and they've been working away in the background to put it right. They're going to be leaner, fitter, better focused. They're going to get Newey and Eyre back on track.
There were several things actually. I think one was the fact that whilst we had a lot of stock, we weren't able to get it to the customers at the right time. And in the right place come to that. So we needed to look at logistics. I think there was a service issue. I think a lot of people were suffering from rigid fingers, pointing the finger of blame at everybody else but themselves. Apathy, and I guess having competed against Newey and Eyre in the North East region when I had my own company, I knew of some of the failures perhaps to realise that service had moved on. And the demands of customers have certainly moved on in the past few years. And they're very, very demanding nowadays. And I didn't think we had gone as far as we could have done in meeting some of those demands. We spent the time since I arrived in May '99 building a platform for the future. Logistics, back office facilities, which are proactive as opposed to reactive. We've looked at putting staff round pegs and round holes, giving people more responsibility. We've empowered business managers to take on more responsibility and make them aware of the fact that they're responsible for running a business. We've looked at concentrating particularly on customer focus, where I felt there was a real need. We seem to be a million miles away from customers, and that's an ongoing process. We need to be doing that more and more into the future. And sometimes I think we suffered from the shotgun effect, where we tried to give everybody a little bit of something instead of specifically looking at major areas of business development and looking after our existing customer base a little bit better.
So what exactly has the North East, Cumbria and Yorkshire region been up to recently? Well, the first thing you might have noticed is the new Stockton Regional Distribution Hub. Opened in August 2000, the Stockton Hub is dedicated to providing a fast and efficient supply network for branches across the region. And in the same way that the branches aim to provide an excellent service to their customers, the Stockton Hub is dedicated to providing the same level of service to the branches, because, put simply, the branches are their customers.
The distribution centre here at Stockton is at the very heart of the stocking and distribution policy that we operate in the region. We've got over £3 million worth of stock here that's available to the 23 branches in the region on an overnight pre-7 a.m. delivery for the following day. And we see that there's an integral part of the increased demand satisfaction from our customers that we need to manage very carefully. The branches in the region stock the very fast-moving items of product, items that need to be available over the counter or for local collection. What we have here in Stockton are the medium to fast-moving lines. Some branches would not be able to carry sufficient stocks of these items, and therefore what we have here is a collection that gives us not only depth of stock, but breadth of stock as well, on an immediate availability to all our branches. One of the best examples that we use to explain the situation is an 800 amp switch fuse. This is not something that many, if any, branches would carry, either within Newey and Eyre or our competitors. We profile that here as part of the range of products that fits into, and because we have one or two of those items here in stock, all our branches effectively have availability off the shelf for that item, and we would normally only expect a 3 or 4 times a year stock turn on that item, and clearly that wouldn't be an item that branches would be interested in stocking. We have delivery from Stockton Hub to every branch in the region via third-party carriers on an overnight basis. We operate a 2-shift system here, and the late evening shift are assembling orders for dispatch by the third party from here to all branches pre 7 a.m. the following day, using what we call the hole-in-the-wall facility, where our carriers can access a certain area of each branch to deliver goods that will be then shipped out by the branch or collected by the customers the following day. We use third-party carriers because they can provide a much better service. They're specialists in distribution, and to a certain extent it relieves us of a lot of additional problems, allowing us to concentrate on providing the services that the customer comes to us for. We have an edge because we have availability. We're able to offer the product ex stock, we're able to complete an order, and we're able to save them valuable time in completing projects.
I think primarily if as a manufacturer we are to run our business profitably and give customer service, customers these days are demanding a flexibility of quantities in products. They're demanding the one consignment deliveries almost anywhere in the UK, and they're wanting cost taken out of their business. Then we as a manufacturer need a supplier that will stock a broad range of products in large quantities, and therefore having a stockist that will do all those things means that we can add value to the supply chain. They recently took into stock at Stockton something like £250,000 worth of stock. Primarily those are what we call secondary products, i.e. products that are not normally stocked by wholesalers, but they do help us service our customers, particularly on the projects side of our business.
The region has also embarked on a programme of branch relocations and refurbishments, with a new purpose-built facility at Newcastle Heaton, new relocations for Stockton and Newcastle Gateshead, with Hull due to relocate in 2001, and proposed new branches for Middlesbrough and Leeds also in 2001. With new infrastructure on the ground taking care of the day-to-day business, backup will be provided by a range of specialist services, helping customers get the best out of Newey and Eyre.
Yeah.
If you're the kind of customer that has traditionally had to deal with different branches in different areas and had to talk to different people about different products, well, from now on, you'll be assigned a single point of contact for all your needs. That's one person to cover every inquiry you need to make, so you can be sure of a consistent service every time, all of the time. The region has also streamlined its quotations and tenders procedures by introducing a dedicated team whose sole function is to take care of all quotations and tenders, giving the customer a quicker turnaround and a more accurate and professional response.
We originally set out to look at quotations as a region because when we spoke to the customers, they felt that it was very inconsistent. They could go to 2 different branches and get 2 different prices for exactly the same articles. When we looked at it, the reasons why people done that was we haven't got the resource at our branches, so they couldn't actually give quotations the attention that they deserved, and it was really a second-class item on the agenda. So when we looked at it, the numbers and the volumes and the sales available in the marketplace, we decided that it would be much better for the region if we done it on a regional basis. It would be a lot more beneficial for the customer because the response time will be what they expect. Also, the standard of quotation and the products offered would be of a much higher standard and also professionally presented, which at the moment we haven't really got.
Recognising the need within the industry for professional project management, the region has also introduced a dedicated project management operation, working independently of the branch network. With their own separate warehouse facilities, they are uniquely placed to provide a total solution for major projects focusing on individual customer requirements.
Benefits the customer in a number of ways. They get dedicated delivery services to site. They get a total orchestrated delivery, so that if they want a part of the products without diffusers, for example, that's not a problem to us. If they want sections of it at a time, again, not a problem to us, because it's all built into the infrastructure.
The fourth new service that is being introduced takes the burden of new business development away from the branches.
Just ringing up regarding an item we have on special offer at the moment.
The proactive telesales team will concentrate on promoting Newey and Eyre products and services to potential customers, as well as those not easily served by a convenient local branch. This means that wherever you are, and however remote you are, Newey and Eyre will still guarantee that you will be able to order any product from the Newey and Eyre catalogue in any available quantity and have it delivered directly to your door within 24 hours. This service will be expanded using e-commerce technology through the interactive CD-ROM and the Newey and Eyre website. So the northeast Cumbria and Yorkshire region of Newey and Eyre has tackled the first few hurdles with new branches and relocations, facilities and services either already in place or about to come online. But what about the people who are going to keep Newey and Eyre up and running? Where do they come in? After all, an individual performance is nearly always the result of a team effort. Well, take a look at this. It might just look like a regular chart to you, but to Newey and Eyre, it represents a brand new approach, and an approach that is going to keep the company on track, getting results for many years to come.
The senior business manager concept came about primarily because there was a desperate communication need. We needed a conduit of communication between staff at all levels, between regional management team, business managers, down to the van driver, telephone sales people. They all needed to know what was happening in the region, where we're going. We would have a meeting on a quarterly basis with branch managers, regional sales managers, regional commercial manager, and we would have about 7 or 8 items on the agenda, and we would spend all day going through those. I found it absolutely boring, telling people, not having time to have any involvement, and I'm sure that the people who participated in the meeting went away with similar sort of thoughts. The senior business manager concept breaks it down. They are like team leaders for a board of directors. They're the chairman. They don't have any stripes. They don't have any authority. They're there to coordinate and help communication, help develop younger, inexperienced managers. Working in a team, you get different types of skills, and that can help when putting together things to help customers. So the whole concept was all about improved communication.
Senior business manager's role is a change in culture for the company. My particular role as a senior business manager for a team of managers, I act as the manager of Grimsby still, and that is my main concern, but I also act as a team leader for other managers within a cluster of branches. Well, the main advantages I see it's the senior business managers to act as a team leader for the people that are working within the cluster, and it's a cluster of other business managers. Generally, I think the most senior business managers tend to be the most experienced managers within that cluster, and it really gives the other people an opportunity to feed off the experience of the senior business manager to develop themselves as managers within a team atmosphere. I think one of the biggest things that I've found working within the cluster of the other managers is basically it gives an opportunity to try and develop a perfect team. I think most people would accept there's no perfect individual, but you can develop a perfect team by working together.
There are 3 senior business managers who oversee a cluster of branches, 1 cluster in the northeast, 1 in South and East Yorkshire, and 1 in North West Yorkshire. Each branch is managed by its own business manager, who works with the other business managers in a team environment to seek solutions to customer needs on an individual, local, and regional basis.
The difference between a branch manager and a business manager is we treat the business as our own business rather than reporting in and someone telling us what to do. This is our business. We're empowered to make all our own decisions, working part of as a region with a group. It gives us more time to look at strategies, initiatives, financial reports, and to take the business forward, really. The customer benefits because if he rings me up and asks me a question, I can give him a decision without, going to speak to my superior. It's my business, I can make an on-the-spot decision. I think the staff, I've noticed a big difference. They're more involved, they're more part of the team, they're more involved in the business, rather before they were being told what to do. They answered the phone, it was just a job where they come at 8 to 5 o'clock. It's not a job, it's their business as well as my business. We're all in it together, we're all one big team, and they want to take part and be a part of the success.
With the branches concentrating on improving the quality of their customer service, a new revised sales function is free to focus on business development. Heading up the sales function is the regional sales manager and his team. The sales team's role is to develop key customer relationships and help the senior sales executives identify and target potential business opportunities. This will ensure that Newey and Eyre is in an even stronger position to maximise sales in areas that they haven't previously explored.
The external sales team role has changed dramatically over the last 12 months to more customer focus and more selling into market sectors, and that is bringing new sales into the company. The market sectors we are looking at are local authorities, NHS, prisons and universities. That is only a start. We will be then developing into the industrial areas and major contract areas. That's the way the sales team will be going in the foreseeable future. Obviously, this brings to the customer a sales team which will have the benefit of the manufacturing partnering supplies that we have. They will bring that benefit to the customer as well as the benefit of e-commerce, which at the end of the day will look to take cost from the customer's operation. And that's where we're going, not only to knock on the door and sell, but to give a package to the customer which will help them to take cost out of their scenario. To give comfort to our existing customers, they're not being forgotten. We're placing more emphasis on the business managers through the branches looking after them to give them better levels of service than they've had in the past, and not a situation like the past where the sales representatives are calling, basically carrying messages. We are away from that era altogether.
That takes care of the front office customer-facing side. But what about the back office? Newey and Eyre has created 2 new commercial offices based in Sheffield and Newcastle to take over the administration and inventory management roles.
I'm chasing up an outstanding debit note we have with yourself.
While the decision on what to stock is dictated by the business managers, the commercial officers provide vital additional support.
The whole idea was to take what they class as the backroom function out of the branches, which are in essence our customers, so they can provide a service to the customer and we can concentrate on administration and the inventory side. What we can do from this office to benefit the end customer is concentrate on where problems are arising throughout a region and try and resolve them problems and give them a better service from one centralised area. We deal with their commercial queries, any returned items that they have, any problems that they have with discounts, we can sort out via the branches. But most of all, we do the inventory for the branches, which of course the end user has the benefit of by making sure we have the correct amount of stock, but also the correct stock in the given locations.
I look after a number of key accounts with particular high CQ problems. I go out and visit customers and try and help them to resolve them. I speak to credit department and have a lot of built relationships with them to do that. On the debit note side, I've obviously had to build relationships with suppliers, and I do spend time out of the office visiting suppliers, trying to clear debit notes and resolve queries and problems we have with them. Customers react very well, actually, because I think it gives them an opportunity to actually meet somebody that they can relate to, and because of my background in the branches, I understand the problems that they have and usually can find a quick way to resolve a lot of the problems that they're suffering from.
With all of these teams in place, working together to support the new regional distribution hub, the branches and the specialist services, the North East Cumbria and Yorkshire region of Newey and Eyre has overcome the last few hurdles to giving their customers the service they demand.
Newey and Eyre over the past few months have decided that They're going to change the way in which they deliver components, the speed at which they're becoming more proactive, more interactive with the contractors and with their customers. Proactive in as much that what they're willing to do, they're now willing to say, right, we will have specific commodities on stock for you guys. We will deliver them when you want them, within a number of hours. We will do that for you guys. The new hub arrangement, being local to ourselves, this is going to afford us an even greater availability of stock, choice of stock, and less downtime.
But they're not finished there. In fact, it's unlikely that Newey and Eyre will ever consider the improvement of their service as finished, because it's evolving all the time. They'll keep looking out for even better ways to re-evaluate and refine the way they work, through preparation, focus, performance, and achievement. And that'll keep Newey and Eyre firmly back on track.